Before you play Diablo Immortal, there are 10 things that you need to know, and today, I'm telling you all of them. What is up, my friends? My name is Echo, and I'm here with 10 of the tips for you guys so that you don't start off on the wrong foot, so you don't waste your time. Starting with number 1, which is that you can have multiple accounts, multiple character classes on one battle pass. Now, if you're not sure what the battle pass is, that is the free or paid subscription tier so that you can get rewarded for things inside of the game. The free tier gives you a bunch of beautiful, free, great things you're gonna need inside of the game. The paid tier, the lower tier, will give you even more. We don't yet know the price of it. I'm guessing around 10 bucks per month. Either which way, you get the battle pass on one account, you have it on all of your character classes that you have associated with that account. That means if you want to grind all 6 character classes, you can do that, and they can all be on the paid battle pass for only the price of one battle pass. So it shows right there they're not too money hungry. You're able to get a lot of value out of that one purchase. Now you need to know your class style. Are you someone that likes to button mash and slam into things with no finesse whatsoever? Or are you someone that likes to go on in and be really tactical using that finesse? If you're someone that likes to smash, likes to do melee style combat, you're most likely gonna wanna play as the barbarian, but you can also choose between the crusader and between the monk. Those are the 3 melee style classes. If you're more of a finesse player, you want to play from afar, your best class for that is going to be the wizard. But if you don't want to use the wizard, you have 2 other options. One of those being the demon hunter, which is a little bit stronger, a little bit more mobile, or you can use the necromancer, where you summon the dead to fight along with you. Those are the 3 character classes available upon launch. You get to choose which one fits you the best. Westmarch is where you're going to want to get to, because after about an hour and a half, 90 minutes of gameplay, you will find yourself in your town, in your home base, where you have access to everything that you're going to want to do inside of the game. This home base is called Westmarch. Being inside of Westmarch is going to give you access to the blacksmith. It's going to give you access to merchants, to rifts, to shadows, immortals. Basically, all of the features inside of the game are going to be accessible from this village, which is your home. This is where everything takes place. Everything surrounds this place. So like I said, after about 90 minutes, you'll make your way here, and then you could really start exploring the game, seeing what it has to offer. I highly suggest you understand where things are in Westmarch so that you have an easier way around, so you always know where you're going, and so you know what you have to do next, because there's a lot that goes down right here. Coming in at number 4 is understanding the bounty board. Every single day, you can grab 12 different bounty board events. These are going to be the best way for you to get experience inside of the game, plus rewards, with the least amount of time. Bounty boards are going to be different events that take place in areas that you've already completed inside of the game. So maybe you'll need to return to this zone, and you'll have to do something while in that zone. Blizzard has made things easier so that most of these bounty board events are going to take you, because you could choose 4 at a time, to the same zone. So you don't have to do excessive amounts of running around from this zone to that zone, wasting your time. They're definitely keeping an eye on making your gameplay time worthwhile and not making you do that unnecessary running around just so you waste more time inside of the game. Bounty boards, if you could do one thing every single day for maximum reward, that's going to be those bounty boards. 12 of them every day. You could probably get them done in about 30 minutes. Upgrading your gear at the blacksmith is very important. It's going to take your gear, your weapons, and everything that you're wearing to the next level, from your primary gear to your secondary gear. The great thing about this system is, if you have this fantastic weapon that you're in love with, you see that maybe the crusader has something that you just love using, you upgrade it to max level, you spend a ton of resources and loot to get it there, and then you decide, I found something better. I found a better weapon. I want to use this one instead. Well, in many games, you would have to then grind that new piece of gear up just as you did the first piece. But here in Diablo Immortal, that is not the case. If you grind up one piece of gear, say your primary weapon, any primary weapon that you then put in that slot will be the same level. So essentially, you're not grinding up the gear, you're actually grinding up the slot itself. So if I decide that I want to grind up my helmet, and then I realize there's a better one, I could switch it on out and I don't lose any of that loot, any of that grind. It is all there. That level is stuck in that slot, and anything that I put in there will be at that level. I love how Blizzard is cutting out the unnecessary grind. We spoke about it earlier. They're doing it again here. This is about quality of life, not wasting any of your time, making all of your time inside of the game worthwhile. As you can see, you have your primary gear on the right-hand side, and on the left-hand side, you have your secondary gear. On this build, all of this gear has been upgraded, as we just spoke about upgrading over at the blacksmith, but also gems have been inserted inside of all of this gear. Your legendary gems are going to be in your primary equipment, which is on the right, and your secondary equipment is going to hold regular gems over on the left-hand side. Regular gems are easier to find. You can get them just from grinding the game, from the merchants. You can just find them when you're going through the campaign. But the legendary gems are much harder to find. Yes, you can find them while running through the campaign, but it's kind of rare. You also, though, can grab them from Elder Rifts. If you put in a legendary crest, you will be rewarded with 1 legendary gem at the end of that rift run. You could use up to 3 of those legendary crests, receiving 3 gems. Now, these are not chosen. You don't get to choose what gem you get. They are random. And you can get gems from 1 star all the way to 5 stars. So a lot of these gems are 3-star gems, but you only may get 1 of the stars out of the 3. So obviously, a certain gem may have great qualities and it's a 3-star gem, but you only get the 1-star version of it. This is not going to be as strong or as valuable as the 3-star version. This also works for 5-star gems as well, where you could have a 5-star gem, which is incredible, the best inside of the game, but you only have the 1-star version of it. Still very rare, but something that you're going to want to try and get the higher level for, so that you can upgrade that more expensive, that better, that more valuable gem. Oh yeah, and you heard me say it right there. You have to upgrade your gems as well. And to upgrade your gems, you're going to need to go to the jeweler, and of course you're going to have to sacrifice gems that you found to upgrade the gems that you want to use. Number 7 on today's list is the skill system inside of Diablo Immortal. I love the skill system, and there's one reason why, which I'm going to get into in a moment. As you notice, you have your primary attack button, and you have the 4 chosen skills, which you could change and move around at any point in time. The best part of this is that as you progress your characters, you get higher and higher in level, you reach these checkpoints where your skills automatically get upgraded. What this means is you never have to specifically grind a particular skill to a max level, then realize you want to switch out your skills for something different, and then have to re-grind another skill. If you are max level in Diablo Immortal, all of your skills will be max level along with you. You can change them at any point in time, and you won't be sacrificing anything. You will have it all ready to go, max level, just as strong as the other ones, so there's no reason to not mix up your skills and play around. So reaching Westmarch was kind of a big deal. That's where everything goes down. But the next thing that you're going to want to reach inside of the game is level 45, because at that level, you will then be able to choose if you want to be an adventurer, a shadow, or an immortal. These are the 3 factions inside of Diablo Immortal. Now let me explain which one they are so you can determine which one is best for you. Adventurers are players that are just going to want to play through the game. They don't care as much about the end game stuff. They want to casually play through the game, grind, participate in events, and do all that great stuff like the Heliquary or the campaign or running rifts. If you're going to play as an adventurer, you're someone that's going to want to be a little bit more casual, not have to be relied on by teammates to participate in really big events. But then you have the shadows and the immortals. The immortals are protecting Sanctuary from all evil. They are there to be the protectors. They are the top of the top. The shadows are the people that are trying to grab those top spots. So essentially, you have the shadows, which could be an unlimited number of players inside of your server, which could be tens of thousands of players. Or you could be the immortals, which are the ones that there's a select few, much less there, that could be part of that group that's trying to protect. Now, for me personally, I enjoyed being a shadow more. The events that you were given for being a shadow were a little bit more casual, and you didn't have to rely on having all your teammates on to protect stuff at certain times, which may be in the middle of the night for you. It's cool to be an immortal because you are then superior. You run the show. But at the same time, there's a lot of responsibility that comes along with being an immortal. As a shadow, you could participate in your daily shadow contracts, which would be in addition to the bounty board, also great rewards. You could raid the vault, where you try and take down the immortals' vault and go through and steal all of their loot. A lot of fun as well, plus a ton of other events. As the immortals, you have events of your own that only immortals can participate in. So there's some really exclusive parts of the game that no others can see that are really fantastic. You're gonna wanna be an immortal at some point in time, but again, you need to be one of the strongest inside of your server or chosen by some of the strongest inside of your server to get there. This is more of an end game mechanic. You're most likely gonna be learning how all of this system works as you grind on through, because at the beginning of the day, you're starting as an adventurer. Then you have to make that decision. Do I wanna be a shadow, an immortal, or just stay casual as an adventurer? It's really depending on how you want to participate in the game, what level of commitment you want to give to the game, and really just how you want to play. Diablo Immortal is a game of upgrades. It's a game of grind. You're always looking for better gear, and when you get that gear, you want to upgrade it. So a lot of people will, instead of playing through the campaign over and over again, they will continuously run through either Elder Rifts or Challenge Rifts or dungeons. And dungeons are what we're talking about right now, because there are a multitude of dungeons that you could participate in inside of the game. The one we're watching right now is called the Cavern of Echoes. Makes sense that it's my favorite of all. And this is where you're gonna run on through, have to beat a bunch of enemies and a few bosses along the way. Fight those bosses and win, you get some big rewards as well as some big experience. Now remember, you can come through and run these dungeons with your friends, team on up, come on together, get on voice, and have some fun taking down these big bosses. You can also find things at random inside of these dungeons. You may take down a boss, you may find a gem, or a new legendary piece of gear, or something that you've been waiting for. So grinding these are going to give you rewards and that XP that so many people really want to grab, and really need to if you want to grind through the game. Number 10 are the charms inside of Diablo Immortal. We talked about gear, we talked about gems, but you also have charms, which are going to give you different attributes to hopefully benefit your build. Unfortunately, charms are my least favorite part of this game because it is all at random. When you have your charms, you'll upgrade them to get different abilities. Your abilities that are in that charm may or may not be viable for your class that you have chosen. For example, you could have a charm that has one skill for a barbarian that is going to actually be the class that you're playing, and 4 of the other skill enhancements may be for other classes that you're not using at all. You can't transfer them to other classes, so it's literally just a charm that's giving you 1 buff rather than 4 or 5. So to do this, you need to re-roll your charms, and it takes forever. It's a massive grind, and there's a good chance you'll never find a charm that gives you all of the attributes for your character class that you're actually playing. But this is something that's very end game. It's going to give you those small buffs along the way that are going to help you in possibly PvP or even that end game grind. It's frustrating because a lot of times when you roll, you're not going to get enough of your skill buffs for the class that you're playing. Hopefully that gets buffed or changed or modified in some way. And a little side tip for you guys, we have that Reliquary boss, which is a boss that's refreshed every single month. You have to come on with teammates because this is an extremely difficult boss fight, but completing it is going to give you some pretty big rewards. Again, this is upgraded and changed monthly. So the old Reliquary bosses will still be available, but every single month there'll be a new one. So let's see these rewards. So completing the Reliquary boss not only is going to give you legendary reward drops, but also it's going to give you stuff for offensive and defensive rating. Notice right here, the player has now forever gotten a buff for their defense and their offense that is used in all elements of the game everywhere. Notice that there are only 4 Reliquary reward slots, so as you unlock more and more throughout the months, you'll need to choose which ones you use for the buffs that you're actually looking for your play style, and for however you're looking to get through the game. So I hope this video has gotten you guys off on the right foot. Of course, there are tons more things that you can learn inside of the game, much of which you learn from watching through other videos we have in the channel, or for actually just sitting down, playing the game, and getting to know Diablo Immortal for yourself. I've gotten hundreds of hours into the game, and I'm still learning more as I go. Now, if you did enjoy this video, if you do enjoy Diablo Immortal or the idea of it, make sure you subscribe to the channel and ring the bell so that you don't miss out on any of the videos that I'm putting out. So when that bell rings, you can be the first one in here and get that information early. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'll be back with another one very soon. Have a great day, guys, and be good.